Hi guys, I'm back with my medium length mannequin, and you could see that this is her bangs that we've cut. And I know that they rode up because she's a mannequin, but after I ironed her, you could see that twisting the triangular section and using like this part of your nose as your guide and then just to cut it and it flares out. On a person, it would look much better, but I'm about 90% happy with it. And now I prepared my foils. Now I gotta mix my peroxide and bleach, and it's time to do the platinum card highlights. So my top two inspirations for the bangs and for the platinum card highlights are Suzanne Summers from Three's Company and Victoria Gotti. So now, without further ado, let me get the 20 volume peroxide. Okay, so I have my 20 volume peroxide right here, and I'm gonna use the blue base bleach because I want to power through all this yellow and gold. I like for blondes, the only bleach I like to use is the blue base, as stated previously in my other videos. And I'm gonna do a 2-to-1 ratio. So I have a full scoop of bleach right here. Gonna set that aside. And take my 20 volume peroxide. And for blondes, honestly, you don't need a volume that's higher than 20. You could use 10 for like a subtle lift, but the 10 is only gonna lift you a shade. But if you want like the ultra light to be like an ultra light blonde, 20 is good. And so it's 2 ounces peroxide to 1 scoop of bleach. And we just mix it and we remove all the lumps and the granules on the bottom, making sure that it's a nice and smooth consistency, like a Greek yogurt or like an oatmeal. Removing all these granules. And see, we have a really nice and smooth bleach. And so for the platinum card, I'm going to be doing the diagonal sections. Going to take the rat tail comb and then once again I'm going to sandwich the foils for more precision. On hair as light as this, the bleed mark like let's just say hypothetically, like I'm very persnickety about the bleed marks, but on hair that's light as this, the bleed marks aren't as obvious. However, you know, nonetheless, because I really want a seamless blonde look, I am gonna keep the comb as a buffer to keep the foil in place. I am gonna move the bleach on my left side because I'm left-handed, and I'm just gonna sandwich them. I like using the double foils and sandwiching the highlights on top of one another because I really don't like those pesky bleed marks in any way, shape, or form. I like there to be seamless, and one might say that yeah, you're using a lot of foils. That could be costly, but honestly, not as costly as trying to correct a patchy highlighting job. So I'd rather use a little more foils, but then get the precise highlighting. So then I take my other foil, I sandwich it, I let the comb go. We are ready for our next section. And what's interesting with the bangs, like I have a trick to highlighting the bangs with the foils. So we're taking another diagonal section right here. And you could see how thin this slice is. Taking another foil. And I'm keeping the foil, the comb I'm keeping the comb flush with the foil. So with the bleach, let me show you. So like barely anything. Make sure that you don't overuse the product, so it doesn't cause the bleach to swell, and it doesn't cause those bleed marks. We don't want those. I'm highlighting really close to the scalp for the uniform blonde look. So she's gonna be really nice and blonde on top, and with her underneath being brown, like what can be better than that? So I'm doing the same thing with this one. Barely anything on my brush. And I opted not to keep the bangs chunky and not to thin them out with the scissors, because when you do apply lightener, the hair automatically loses like even the thickest of hair, and it's to be expected. Because with bleach you are going to lose a little density, and that's fine. So the bangs are going to look softer once we highlight them. Taking another diagonal section, and I love diagonal sections a lot more than the horizontal ones, because I feel like you get a more precise application. So taking another thin section, foil. And so let me show you. So you see barely anything. That's what you want. And that's what full saturation is just making sure that you get every strand of hair. Stay tuned. I'm going to continue doing the platinum card on the left side, and I'll be back to do the right side, and then I'm going to show you how to highlight the bangs. It's so cool because the foils are going to be standing up and it's going to look like a giant horn on the head. It's awesome. Okay, thank you for watching. Oh, and look, and my other two blondies say hi. My beacons of light.